Okay, now the court is back in session in cause number M319400. Case of South State of Texas versus Valente A. Jimenez. Now, Mr. Jimenez, I have before me a document that is titled English for all foreign nationals except those from mandatory notification countries. And you're from Mexico, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. Now, as a non-US citizen who is being arrested or detained, you may request that we notify your consular officers here in the United States of your situation. You may also communicate with your consular officers. A consular officer may be able to help you obtain legal representation and may contact your family and visit you in detention, among other things. If you want us to notify your consular officers, you can request this notification now or at any time in the future. Do you want us to notify your consular officers at this time?
Oh.
Okay, he didn't circle it. Okay, now, Mr. Jimenez, you circled no, is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
And is this your signature on the line that says print and signature on the line that says signature?
Yeah.
And Mr. Cole, you also signed as a witness?
Yes, sir.
On today's date? Mr. Cole, did you go over the consequences of Mr. Jimenez pleading guilty of no contest to these charges by virtue of him being a non-US citizen?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Jimenez, also I have before me this same document that we went over, that's misdemeanor plea of United States Exhibit 1. At the bottom of this document, it's titled Citizenship. I'm going to go over this document with this paragraph with you. And it says, if you're not a US citizen, a plea of guilty or nolo contendere may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Do you understand that?
Yeah, that's right.
Now, do you still want to go forward with your plea of guilty in this case?
Yeah.
All right. State. I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Cole, you've advised and counseled Mr. Jimenez. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No,
Mr. Jimenez, your attorney, Mr. Cole, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his services?
Yeah.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yeah.
He has, okay. Mr. Jimenez, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial, and I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given, and I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is for 30 days with credit given for 30 days. It is a time served plea, and the court costs are being taxed and retired.
Okay. Mr. Jimenez, the state is offering that you serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you have already served 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you will be given credit for the time that you have already served. The court cost in this case is $327, but you will not be required to pay the $327 court cost because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court cost will be taxed and retired. Mr. Jimenez, do you understand the state's offer?
Yeah, I understand.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Jimenez, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Jimenez, you're going to stand next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, please follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day.
3 times. Yes, sir.
But this is cause number M328018. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Stephen Russell. Mr. Russell, is that your full name? Mr. Russell, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Russell, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Russell, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Russell?
Doing well. How are you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Russell, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Dustin Gilmore. Attorney Gilmore, how are you doing?
Great, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Hold on a minute. Let me see. Okay. Now, The state is represented in this case by Attorney Courtney Davis. Attorney Davis, how are you doing?
Good, Judge, thank you.
That's fine. Now, Mr. Russell, I have before me, well, Mr. Galmore, do you waive a record in Mr. Russell's case?
We do.
Okay, now, Mr. Russell, I have before me a motion to revoke unadjudicated probation. And in this motion, it alleges that you, Stephen J. Russell, was tried in the county court at law number 2, Jefferson County, Texas, on April 4, 2023, for the offense of harassment with previous convictions.
No. Not with previous convictions.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking at hold on a minute. Okay, let me look at the deferred adjudication order. The information just said it was harassment communication, and the judgment said harassment communication.
That's correct.
Yes,
Okay, so, I mean, you asking for this to be amended? It has here that it's harassment with previous communications.
We
Yeah,
have no objection to the amendment.
and the date on that, the date is on the date, the date of the judgment is
Judge, it looks like it was a misprint. It should just be harassment.
and the date of the judgment is September 13th of 2022. I think that one had some April of 2023. Is that correct?
We also do not object to amendment to correct that date.
Okay, well, we'll just take a recess and just give them opportunity to make it's gonna be a trial amendment.
Okay, yes, Judge.
You can, you need a copy of the, yeah, you can write it in. You give a copy of the deferred adjudication judgment. It has the date of